What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about some new Star Wars Battlefront 3 rumors. This is just a rumor from a person who normally gets a lot of things right on Star Wars leaks, Bespin Bulletin. He says, well, we'll just jump right into this. So he says, right now there is no plans for a Battlefront 3. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but here we are. Enjoy the Battle of Scarif update. Share some kind messages to the team at DICE who worked ever so hard on Battlefront 2. Now, this gets pretty interesting when you look into it. So, DICE, obviously, they are the makers of Battlefront. They're also the makers of the Battlefield game. So they are moving on very publicly, right? EA has said, okay, Battle of Scarif, that's it. DICE is done. We need them to work fully on this. You have to imagine, right? And we all can kind of know. They've been working on the next Battlefield game for a while. But now we need all hands on deck, right? To make that Battlefield game 2021 release. But when you look at it, the deal between Lucasfilms and EA wraps up in 2023. And as of right now, we know that they do want to make and are making a Jedi Fallen Order 2 from Respawn. And remember, there was also that rumored Star Wars Project Maverick. Remember that screenshot just randomly appeared on the PlayStation Store one day, just a random Star Wars game, and then it got pulled down. Nobody ever saw it again. Nobody's talked about it. But ever since then, there's been a lot of talk that yes, that is an unannounced Star Wars game from, I believe, EA Motive. Okay, so they have 2 games in development right now for Star Wars, and the deal wraps up in 2023. Those 2 games, you'd imagine, I don't know how fast you'd want to get a Jedi Fallen Order out there, but could you do it in 2021? Would that be when this Project Maverick comes out, and then you have Jedi Fallen Order 2 come out in 2022? How exactly, either way, both of those games will probably release not in 2020, but in 2021 and 2022. I doubt you'd have 2 Star Wars games released the same year, so you'd probably have them in those back-to-back years. Then the deal wraps up. That is I didn't know that. To be honest with you, I didn't know that. I guess in my head, with what EA has done, and you know what? They've done better, obviously. They've done a lot better of late with Star Wars. But overall, I think it's pretty fair to agree that they've really messed up bad. And my approach has always been, I'd rather have it be the Wild West of making Star Wars. Remember, before the license was given, there would be, oh my God, within a 10-year period, there could be 30 Star Wars games. There could be 2 Star Wars games a year, but they'd all be from different developers, from different publishers. And yeah, did we get some bad ones? For sure. We absolutely got some bad ones. But I think that's when we had the most productivity, I would say. We had different minds all working on different things, and we really got a variety of products. We got to play as heroes, we got to play as villains. Not all of them even had lightsabers. There was so many different games before it kind of got locked down with EA. So while Battlefront 2 was good at launch and obviously had a lot of problems, but I think the basis of it was good, and then it got much, much better as it went. While Jedi Fallen Order, was phenomenal, while I'm sure the second Jedi Fallen Order will also be good, and while, we don't know anything about Project Maverick, but they're on a good roll, so I'll assume it's at least good. While they've been on a good roll, I really hope that deal expires. I really hope they don't renew it. I hope it costs them a lot of money and they don't feel comfortable doing it, something like that, because ultimately, they can still make Star Wars games if they want, even when the deal expires. It would just go to anybody. No one would have an exclusive license to Star Wars. So it does suck that Battlefront 3, right now, they're saying no, but when you think about, and when I first saw that, I saw the headline, it's oh my God, really? Of all the things, this is actually quite a bold thing to come out there and say, they're not even considering doing it right now. But if you really think about it, well, if they have 2 games being made, and you only have, say after this year, you only have 2 to 3 years left of your deal with them, you can only have so many games go out. If you started, and think about it like this too, the team that's working on the next Battlefield, the one that comes out in 2021, fall of 2021, that would probably be the team that would work on Battlefront 3. So then you wouldn't get Battlefront 3 started until, let's say they even started a little bit before Battlefield. So let's say they start it in 2021, the first day, January 1st of 2021, they start it. They still wouldn't be able to get it out till probably late 2023 at the earliest. Give them 2, almost 3 full years to make the game. That's 2023. That's when the deal expires. So, you know what I mean? So I feel like there's some businessy things going on here that, you don't necessarily think of. And I think a lot of people, again, probably just assumed either the contract is never going to end or don't really, kind of like me, I didn't honestly feel like the contract never, expired. I just kind of assumed like it's either a really, really long contract, right? Like a 10, 15-year contract, or I feel like it hasn't even been that long, like in my mind for, stuff like that, where it's like you don't actually expect. That caught me off guard reading that. I did not know that contract expires in less than 3 years. So honestly, that's exciting for a whole different set of reasons, but it is very disappointing to know that at least right now they're not planning Battlefront 3. Again, does that mean that it won't happen? No, it'll probably happen either A, if the license is renewed, or B, if the license expires, EA can still do it, or even another development team somewhere in the world from another publisher, doesn't have to be EA, anybody can say, you know what, we want to make a Battlefront game, and we're going to do it. And we're not going to call it Battlefront 3. It'll be our own thing. And then in like 4, 5, 6 years from now, we have another kind of like reboot, but just another team's take on it in Star Wars Battlefront. I think that's better. I think that's a better world where it's not, and I think generally a lot of people probably feel that, right, for like businesses. You don't really want monopolies. You don't want one studio or one publisher, in this case EA, dictating every single Star Wars game. Because again, for all of the good they've done, and they have done some good, they've made a lot. The first Battlefront, the loot box fiasco with the second one, closing Amy Hennig's, right, Visceral Games' studio, closing it to make an open world Star Wars game that then also got canceled. They've made a ton. They've made so many mistakes. And again, I think it's just better that it's fine. They want to make their Star Wars games. You can make them. Just don't make them exclusive to EA. And honestly, I feel like that's the path we're going to get to in just a few years. So guys, let me know in the comments below. Are you disappointed that Battlefront 3 seems like it's a no-go for now? Did you know about the license? What do you think comes next for Star Wars games? Let me know. Make sure, as always, you guys subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up. And I do a new video on this channel every single day. And so I hope to see you guys on tomorrow's video.